Hi, this is Lisa Tenner. I'm here with Shalini Bahl, a mindfulness expert and researcher. We met in my Bring Your Book to Life program, and Shalini is now getting ready to actually publish the book that she drafted in my 8-week program. It's called Reset Your Mind. Yay! And Shalini's here today to share some research about gratitude, one of my favorite subjects, and how she uses gratitude in her writing practice. Welcome, Shalini.
Thank you so much, Lisa, for including me in this, and for so many reasons. I'm grateful to be here with you. So just to give a little background about how and why gratitude is so important for me in my writing is that I come from India, and so English is my second language, and I grew up in a very different system where we didn't learn creative writing, or like my son, for example, in the 6th grade was already writing better than I was writing. And then when I moved here, I got my PhD. So then I learned how to write for the first time, but it was academic writing. Mm-hmm. And so when I started this work with you, I learned so much from that process and, just shifting my mindset and learning a lot of skills. However, it was a very new skill. It still is very new. So what happens is that when I'm writing, as it is, you probably know, there's a lot of resistance. It's, we have limited brain resources, and which the brain tries to conserve for emergency purposes. So basically at the get-go, there's a lot of resistance because the brain knows it's going to, this is a new skill. It's going to take a lot of time. So it's already creating a lot of resistance. On top of that, we have something called the negativity bias, which is really for our survival. And the idea is that we tend to focus more on what's wrong than what's right. And so as soon as I get into the writing, like, okay, I've cleared the day, I'm going to sit down and write. And now my mind is starting to act up. And it's like, oh, you're too tired today. Or why don't you go do the laundry? Or so it's sending up all these messages to disrupt my writing. And in those moments, what helps to disrupt that negativity bias is gratitude. So it's literally the act of shifting our perspective from what's wrong, like this is my second language, I suck at writing, all of that. So that's where my thoughts are. But to disrupt that, if I shift my perspective to things that I'm grateful for, like I was fortunate to meet you and go through that program. And that really is such an invaluable resource. It got me going. I completed my 8-week curriculum, which I started teaching right after finishing. So that was a huge accomplishment. So just to pivot my mind, instead of focusing on I can just say, wow, I have created a whole curriculum that I'm teaching that people are paying money to come and learn and read. And many of them were using the handbooks. I made a handbook out of that. And they were using, and I would have this couple in Maine who would say that we read the handbook every day together and we do the practices together. And it's such an invaluable resource. So now when I think of that, I'm like, oh my God, that feels, just having that gratitude for the resources I have, for the people who are coming and believe in me and trust in me, and gratitude for my own skills, for my mind that is able to pull all of this together, and grateful for my teachers. And so what helps us disrupt that negativity bias is, number one, shifting our perspective towards what we're grateful for, right? The second as important is we have to take a few moments to really feel it in the body. Because if you just say like, oh, I should be grateful, I have this, that's not going to rewire our mind, and we'll still somehow be feeling like, oh, I should and shouldn't and all that. But if you just genuinely take a few moments to pause and feel that goodness of how this work is benefiting so many people, and really feeling the gratitude in the body. So that rewires the brain towards not needing to just continue to search for what's wrong in the environment, but it sends a message to the brain that it's okay, life is good. I can accept the gifts, and I can, and that really helps me to then just bring more ease and openness into my writing.
Wow, that's beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. I think often to adapt a new skill or activity, it's really helpful to understand the reason we're doing it. And when we get that science piece and we realize, okay, this is why it works, it doesn't feel as much like, woo woo, fairy
Right.
stuff. It's like, oh, okay, this is proven. And
Yeah.
somehow it gives us more permission to take it seriously and believe in it and use it more regularly, I think.
Absolutely. I think it is so helpful to know the science, because then you don't take it personally. Oh, it's just me and there's something wrong with me, or there's resistance, I'm lazy, I don't have the willpower or whatever. But once you understand that, oh, your brain is going to resist writing, it's a new skill.
Hmm.
And the way to then shift that brain is through this very simple exercise of gratitude. Then it makes it a little easier for sure.
A lot, I think.
A
Yeah.
lot,
Thank you
yes.
so much for sharing this. And I'm so looking forward to Reset Your Mind and
Mhm.
reading the book in its fully published version and sharing it with others. So good luck and thanks again.
Thank you so much.